Hey guys, welcome back. I just wanted to log on and do a little weekly TCAP on some of the topics I found interesting this week. I wanted to speak on Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, Saweetie, Megan the Stallion, Latto. I also want to speak on Taylor Swift ending Kanye West, Chappel Roan, and Skai Jackson. So starting off with Lil Kim, Missy Elliott brought her out a couple of days ago at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It was for the Out of This World tour, which includes Sierra and Busta Rhymes. I believe that Lil Kim and Missy Elliott have been friends since like the mid 90s. They've collabed on music, appeared in each other's music videos, and always seem to speak highly of each other. I believe that Lil Kim came out as a surprise guest. She was really pumped up. She had a lot of energy. The crowd got energized when they saw her. They were like, what? You got it going on. But honestly, I enjoy Lil Kim. I enjoy her music, and I think she looked great. She sounded good. One thing I did notice is, well, I feel like she does it a lot live, is like she'll do one verse and the other verse she'll have the audience do it, which is a good interaction between the artist and the fans. But personally, I would just prefer to listen to the artist sing or rap. But hey, that's just me. But honestly, if I had the opportunity to see Lil Kim, I don't care if it's playback the whole time, I'll be getting down. Another person who's down for Lil Kim is Latto. So it looks like she was doing a complex interview, and in it, she brought up that Lil Kim is a GOAT.
Like, the GOAT is Lil Kim, for sure. Like, fashion icon, timeless music, timeless looks, like, gonna forever be, like, a staple in not only rap, but, like, female rap.
So it looks like it had some people confused, in particular the Barbs, because they were bringing up old videos where Latto was claiming that Nicki Minaj was a GOAT.
I love Nicki. Like, I was in 5th grade when Nicki came out, heavy impact on the industry. And I cut my hair in a bang. I had the pink highlights. I stood in line for Pink Friday, like crazy about Nicki. So I feel like she definitely, you could credit her for like inspiration to me.
Yeah. So Nicki is the queen, and any girl from this generation going forward who don't listen to Nicki is giving hater. But when Nicki came out, baby, obsessed. Like, me as a young girl, I was obsessed with her as a woman, her confidence. I'm like, damn, she's a boss bitch. I want to be like that.
And anyone who said otherwise was a hater. And now they're labeling Latto as a hater because obviously she switched up on Nicki Minaj. But if you guys recall, when Nicki Minaj first came out, she would always be praising Lil Kim. She would say that she was a GOAT, that she was her inspiration.
You know, Lil Kim, and I was paying homage to her, saying, I love Lil Kim, you know what I'm saying? But I think that I have what it takes to fill her shoes. I think that if anyone has the power to do it, it's Nicki Minaj.
And they even took a picture together, and people were like, "Oh, Lil Kim and her fan, or Nicki Minaj and her inspiration." But Nicki would always give Kim credit, and then when they fell out, she switched up on her, and now she says that Foxy Brown is her inspiration, that she's the person that she would always listen to growing up instead of Lil Kim. So in essence, Latto did to Nicki what Nicki did to Lil Kim, because why are you gonna keep bringing somebody up, let alone give him credit if you don't get along with him? So if Latto hates Nicki Minaj, she's gonna be like, you know what, on to the next one. I'll give Lil Kim credit. Same with Nicki Minaj. She's like, you know what, I don't like Lil Kim. The credit's gonna go to Foxy Brown. But on to the next topic of Mamushi by Megan the Stallion. I believe that it can reach a new peak. It reached number 36 on Billboard Hot 100. And I think that it could possibly aim for a top 25 now that the Mamushi video came out. The video on YouTube is at 10 million views in 5 days, which I think is really good. It's still number 1 on trending. And it seems like a lot of people are feeling the song. A lot of people are doing dance challenges. The music video stuck with the whole woman serpent vibes, because if you recall, on Cobra, it had a snake like molting out of its skin. And then Megan came out. On his, it was like, I think she was cracking out of an egg. In Boa, it was a video game when it was like the curse of the serpent woman, and there was like a snake attacking the players at the end. And now in Mamushi, we can see her as a serpent woman who eats men. But I have to say that her visuals have been hitting with this new era. I think that the song that I least enjoyed was Cobra, both visually and sonically. But I think it was just too much green screen. But the rest of them I enjoyed. But do you guys think this song, Mamushi, is a bop or a flop? And do you think it can reach top 10 on the Hot 100? Honestly, I'm appreciative to the artists who still drop music videos, because I think it's kind of weird how Beyonce just hasn't dropped any visuals for 2 albums. Nicki Minaj dropped Super Freaky Girl and what was it, Red Ruby the Sleaze, but I was surprised that she didn't drop more videos, honestly. But some of the rap girls / hip hop were featured in the Gold Standard, which was a celebration of women in hip hop, and it included artists like Cardi B, City Girls, Doja Cat, Flo Milli, Glorilla, Ice Spice, Latto, Megan the Stallion, Saweetie, and Sexy Red. So I guess that Spotify was just trying to celebrate, the new female rappers / hip hop artists. And when people saw the portrait of all the artists together, they noticed that Nicki Minaj was missing. So people were just speculating, like, why is Nicki Minaj not on here? Why is Lil Kim not on here? Why is Missy Elliott not on here? And people were claiming that it was just like for the newer generation, for the people who are relevant right now. And they're like, exactly, well, Nicki Minaj is relevant. Nicki Minaj has sold more than all these girls probably combined. So it looks like Nicki Minaj was the one that didn't want to be a part of it. But a lot of these girls, have their differences, but some of them were able to come together, some of them weren't. But it looks like on one of the interviews, Latto, Sexy Red, and Flo Milli got together. And when Sexy Red was speaking, she was speaking about Nicki Minaj. And she said that she liked how, her music is still relevant. And I believe she spoke on her relevancy after all these years in the music industry. And people were saying that Latto and Flo Milli were being haters and they were just being shady because they just stayed mute. They stayed quiet when Sexy Red brought up Nicki Minaj.
Nicki though, she lasted in the game for a good amount of years, so I want to still like be in the game. Some be fading off. Be for real. Yeah. They be fading off, but they be fading off. Be for real. Yeah. They be fading off, but they.
And other people were saying like, hey, what the hell? Like, why are you guys dragging Flo Milli and Latto for no reason? Like, they literally did nothing. They just stayed like quiet, But that's how the fans and stan Twitter are. Obviously, if you stan one person, you're not gonna anything the other person does, like, oh, look at them looking over there, looking sideways, eating that carrot. Everything they do is gonna bug you. So now to probably the biggest artist in the world right now, Taylor Swift. So she's expected to have ended Kanye West's streak of #1 albums on the Billboard 200. Kanye is credited by Billboard with 11 consecutive #1 albums on the chart. But it looks like this week, Taylor Swift is going to spend her 14th week at #1 on Billboard 200, denying Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign the #1 spot. Taylor this week is going to have 142,000 equivalent album units based on combined record sales, individual tracking sales, and online streams. And it looks like Vultures 2 is going to come up with 107,000 units. So that just continues to show the power that Taylor Swift does have over the industry. If a seasoned and iconic artist like Kanye West, who has 11 #1 albums, can't even outsell Taylor Swift in his first week, and she's on her 14th week, what makes you think that other artists like Charlie XCX, Sabrina Carpenter, or all these up-and-coming artists can outsell her? But they say that Taylor Swift does like coming out with remixes or digital versions or vinyls just to stay ahead of her competition. For example, I think that both Kanye West and Taylor Swift released digital versions or some alternate version of their albums on the night before the tracking ended, just to try to boost streams and those sales. But ultimately, obviously, Taylor Swift ended up on top regardless. But people say that Taylor did the same thing with Charlie XCX, where she came out with alternate versions for her for the Tortured Poets department, just to block Charlie from going #1. But I don't even think Charlie went number 2 that week. I think she might have been like 3 or 4. But anyways, people are saying that she is kind of like chart obsessed, which every artist I think is, you know. Taylor's not the only artist that comes out with remixes or alternate versions. There's, you know, a lot of people come out with different versions. Cardi B comes out with, you know, a slowed down, a sped up. Same with Nicki Minaj. They all do it, you know. Like Nicki Minaj, when Super Freaky Girl was gonna go number 1, she came out with the Roman version, with the Queen's mix, and you know, a whole bunch of different versions. But the difference is, like, I think hers had more creativity to it. You know, it's not just like, oh, sped up, slowed down, chopped and screwed. She actually came out with new verses, which I think is more, you know, creative, as opposed to being lazy, like, oh, let me just come out with this slowed down or sped up version. But honestly, artists don't sell like they used to. Even like Beyonce, she doesn't sell 1 million copies the first week like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is like that anomaly right now that really does have the sales, and her fans really do buy her music. And the Barbs are also a big fan base that buy music. Barty Gang, I think once in a while they buy Cardi's music, but we're talking about like Ice Spice or Latto, Sexy Red, even Doja Cat. I think Doja Cat, for her Scarlet Deluxe album, she had 900 pure sales, which is kind of crazy to think about, because even Taylor Swift on her 14th week, I think she has like 25,000 pure sales. But last, onto some darker news. Saweetie and Skai Jackson both had similar altercations with their boyfriends or husbands, or I think Skai Jackson, is she married? I don't know, but anyways, with their partners. Skai Jackson and her boyfriend were walking, and it looks like they were getting into some argument. It looks like she pushed him a couple of times. Security caught it and they called the cops. So now people are saying that Skai Jackson is pregnant and in jail, gonna go heading for divorce. So, you know, people are clowning on her. And Saweetie, it looks like she and YG were at the residence, and it looks like they were having some altercation, which they said it wasn't physical. They were just screaming really loud. So neighbors did call the cops on him, and yeah, so they had to go like de-escalate the situation or whatever. But if you guys recall, Saweetie did have an altercation with Quavo in an elevator where they were, I guess, arguing over, they had some bag in an elevator and they were both like pushing each other trying to get the bag. And this time, I guess the dispute was over a cell phone or something on a cell phone. So now people are saying, like, is Saweetie the problem? Is she the toxic one? Because when I see her in interviews, she always seems like she's really relaxed, really chill. But hey, you never know how people are behind closed doors. But anyways, that was just a little TCAP, and let me know if you guys want me to continue to do these, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.